Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Aviary Attorney. When we left off, we got the ending 4A, because I was unable to get the 4C ending, which as of this moment has not been completed yet. I don't fault the developers for any of that. I'm sure it's crazy tough to get all of that wrapped up and good to go, but I do fully intend to get the 4B ending in this playthrough, and then if the 4C one is not up and running by the time the next Aviary Attorney video needs to be posted, I may just roll right into Undertale and we'll do the Aviary Attorney one as needed when it is released. But I did find out some of the things that I needed upon further investigation of what I need to do. Now, the first thing I have to do is go to the R&M Associates and get them to look into the Croque Monsieur. Once I do that, I have time to investigate everything else, and then on Friday, which is going to be in 2 days, I'm going to be able to look at the broken street lamps, and you guys will see all of that while I collect the evidence, and then we will be able to get one more item that I need for the trial, and then I think we'll be on track to getting the 4B ending. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. You guys just sit back and relax, and I guess we will see you guys on January 28th. On Friday. Alright guys, so I kind of lied. Apparently, I had to wait 3 days for the R&M Associates to get the information, so I had to wait until February 4th. But during that time, I've gone through and got everything that you guys have seen. The only difference is I know where the copper pot is now. It's the urn in the museum that you can steal, and then the fishing line, if you don't want to give him money, you can give him a chocolate and he will actually give you the fishing line with that for the bait instead. So those are the only things. If you guys want to get those items without spending money, that's how you do it. But now we're gonna go here, and this is where we're gonna meet the Croque. And there he is. It's actually not the person I thought it was. I thought that the victim was indeed a little bit different. But anyways, this is where we are right now, and we're gonna have a little sequence here, and then we have one more thing I need to do before I can actually get all the evidence I need for the underground trial thing, and then we get the whole ending path that we have to do too. So let's go ahead and get going, shall we? Is that him? It must be. Excuse me, monsieur. I don't recognize you fellas. What's the password? The password? Etam. Etam. Oh, I took you fellows for bird brain cops, but you actually know the secret password. So, what do you want? Well, let's start with introductions. You are the Croque Monsieur, are you not? That's Croque Monsieur to you. Mon Dieu, people always get the pronunciation wrong. I'm not really hearing the difference. In any case, Monsieur Croque Monsieur, my name is... Don't tell me, you idiot! Bringing up names can mess up an entire meeting. Why do you think I use an alias? Just tell me what you want. Drugs? Guns? Explosives? Slaves? Come on, I don't have all day. Well, to be honest, what I really want is... information. A fancy gun. A fancy gun. I need an exquisite firearm that can't be bought from any gunsmith or merchant. Ah, you're a man with discerning tastes, huh? Take a look at this. It's my own custom manufactured masterpiece. The greatest pistol in the world. Double-barreled, ivory handle, percussion cap, of course. It takes mini-ball ammunition, so it's super accurate. It certainly is quite something. I'll give you this one, right here and now, for 500 francs. 500 francs for one gun? It looks nice, but it can't be that good. Listen, this is a one-of-a-kind gun. A double-barreled mini-ball pistol? That's cutting-edge technology. Frankly, you're robbing me blind to 500. So, you gonna take it or what? Do you take checks? Very funny. And no, I don't take pocket lint either. It's cold, hard Napoleons only. Well, well, well. Saint Merd, it's the fuzz! Cheese it! Wait! Monsieur, Croque Monsieur! Come back! Never fear, Falcon! I'll tell the dastardly fellow! Don't get too close, Sparrowson. That crocodile's got a gun. Oh! What's with all this ruckus? Playing cops and robbers, are we, JJ? Are you blind, Severin? That was the Croque Monsieur! We were on the crux of extracting some vital information about the rebels, but your smug entrance just ruined everything. Hmm? That was the Croque Monsieur? I never would have guessed. You don't sound very concerned. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm quite impressed that you managed to track down such an elusive criminal. But I have something much more pressing that I need to discuss with you. More pressing than finding the rebels? Perhaps. JJ, I want you to answer this question sincerely and honestly. Did you go by a different name prior to enrolling at Paris Law School? What? What does it have to do with the rebel investigation? Or to do with anything for that matter? I would appreciate it if you just answered the question, JJ. I need to hear it from your own beak. Have you ever gone by a different name? Ooh. I wonder if he's suspecting us of being the Viridian Killer, which I still don't know if we are or are not. Let's say yes. I don't deny it. A man has a right to change his name. Indeed, a man does have that right, but why would a man do such a thing? I don't appreciate your accusatory tone. You sound just like Inspector Volerti. Wait, that's it, isn't it? The inspector ordered you to dig up some dirt on me, didn't he? Answer me, Severin. What's going on? What did Inspector Volerti say? Man, that croc can run. It appears that you two are making solid progress with your investigation into the rebel group. I'll be sure to let the inspector know. Where are you going? We haven't finished our discussion, Severin. We have. I learned what I came here to find out. Good day, JJ. Good day, Sparrowson. What? What was that all about? It doesn't matter. Severin's just poking his beak where it doesn't belong. Nosy blighter. So, tell me about your little adventure, Sparrowson. You lost a croc monsieur, I take it. Yeah. He looks like a stumpy reptile. He ran like a gazelle. I lost him. In no time at all. I see. Well, with the croc monsieur's lead gone, our investigation has reached a dead end. Not entirely. He dropped something. During the chase. He dropped something? What exactly? I'll show you. Follow me. I think you need to do more exercise, Sparrowson. Don't judge me. Ow. 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 Mon Dieu, what is it now? Muscle cramp? No, my foot's hurting. I think I got something in my shoe. Well, grit your beak and bear it. This is around where you saw the crocodile drop something, right? Yeah, somewhere around here. Now let's put on our investigation hats and find whatever it is. Okay. What's this? The sign is difficult to read. The paint is faded. Trottle fruitier? Truquel fructier. There's no way it says that. You just made those words up. All words are made up, Falcon. He's not wrong. Ah, there's my street lamp. Does that street lamp look broken to you? Yep. I think all the lamps on the street have been vandalized. The ground is covered in glass from the broken panes. Oh, that explains why my foot's hurting. It does? There's glass in the sole of my shoe. I must have trodden on some shards while chasing after the croc monsieur. Oh no, my good shoes are ruined. Well, I wouldn't say good. You paid 20 cents for them. File this away in the evidence folder. You want me to file away the broken glass? Yep. I'm filing an official formal complaint to the government. Their faulty street lamp has ruined my shoes, and I am owed compensation. I think government officials have better things to do than worry about your 20-cent shoes, Sparrowson. We'll just see about that. Okay, are you satisfied? We have real evidence to find. Oh, here's a pamphlet, maybe. Yeah, this is the thing the croc monsieur dropped. It's a list. 40 muskets, 20 pistols, gunpowder, 3,000 musket balls. To be delivered to the sleeping city. This is an invoice. I don't see any names on here, but given the contents and quantities, the goods are probably intended for the rebels. Excellent find, Sparrowson. It was nothing. But the sleeping city? Where could that be? Well, it's a city that sleeps a lot, so somewhere in Spain would be my guess. I'm pretty sure that the location is not a literal city. For one thing, we already know the city where the rebels are gathering. It's right here, in Paris. The sleeping city is a code phrase, like a riddle. A riddle? Well, I'm stumped, and hmming is getting us nowhere. We must find someone who can solve it. We need a person who is knowledgeable about all manner of riddles and puzzles. A know-it-all, huh? Precisely. In the meantime, I'll file this away for safekeeping. So we got his invoice. Do you think the crop dropped anything else? Doubt it. Oh, what's this? I see hanging bushels of onions. Bushels? That can't be right. It's sprigs. Sprigs of onions. How about bundles of onions? That's pretty neutral. Confederacies of onions. Okay, we're done. Flocks of onions. We're done. Ah, Sparrowson, how I love you. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, I think we're good. Whew. Okay, so those are the key parts that I needed. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do. Oh, there's the cutscene. I don't think this cutscene is really going to change. But I think everything else is going to be fairly straightforward. Like I said, there's one more thing that I need. Which, this is all the same. You guys aren't missing anything. If you guys saw my other video, you know what this is about. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and continue forward. If I do come across anything new, I'll let you guys know. Pretty sure the riddle is supposed to go to the librarian, but I don't know if I want to waste a day doing that, because I know what the Sleeping City is. It's the freaking catacombs underground, and we found it without that riddle. So I may hold off on that unless I have an extra day or two to do something else, and I'm just going to keep going forward, get the invention made so that I can prove whatever it is I need to prove with that invention. I know it's going to be a key part of it. So hang tight, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alright, well, my mistake. I actually found out that I need to go to the library now. I went ahead and got my extractor already, but I need to go to the library because that is going to give us a hint that we need to go to Notre Dame early, and that's what I need to do because I need to go there in order to get my other piece of evidence. So I may need to do this anyways. Do you think Nathan likes riddles? Of course. All librarians like riddles. Seems like a bit of a stereotype. That's all I'm saying. Stereotype or not, we have to hope that it's true. That boffin is our best chance at getting to the bottom of this. Time to put our polite faces on. He's here now. Good day, Dramino and Dramio. What? Good day, monsieur. It's a pleasure to see you again on this fine day. Tell me, kind monsieur, do you like riddles? Of course. Here's one for you, messieurs. What has 2 mouths and 4 ears, yet talks twice as much as it listens. Let's go with, you. It's you, messieurs, you. You come in here, yammering and yelling, never stopping to close your beaks for 1 minute. Oh, it's very good, monsieur. Sparrowson, we need to get into his good books. What was that? Sorry, I can't fake laugh. Oh, mon Dieu. Stop this farce. You messieurs obviously have some inane riddle that you want solving, so let's hear it. Go on, spit it out. Oh, right. Well, if we were to say there's a place called the Sleeping City in Paris, where would it be? That's a new one. The Sleeping City. Got it. Really? Of course. The riddle's trivially easy. There are plenty of locations that can be called a Sleeping City, but the only one place earns that title in Paris. Oh, and where would that be? We know the answer, of course. Obviously. We're just fact-checking to make sure you got it right. Think it through, messieurs. What kind of city is only inhabited by those who sleep all day and night? I got it! Spain! Don't be daft, Sparrowson. Spain isn't a city. Perhaps the monsieur is referring to the capital of Spain, Madrid. A nice, sleepy place. Spain? Madrid? You two are remarkably dense, aren't you? Sleep is a metaphor. Actually, it's one of the oldest and most powerful metaphors in the history of literature. It symbolizes death itself. The Sleeping City obviously refers to a city of the dead, a necropolis. Think, messieurs, think. Use your puny avian brains. Do we have any necropolises in Paris? Of course we do. Of course, the catacombs, the winding tunnels of the dead that lie beneath our very feet. Very good, monsieur. That's the first semi-intelligent thing you've managed to say all day. You have more questions, don't you? Oh, yes. How can we get in? I know that the bourgeois like to tour the catacombs, don't they? Correct. It's quite the bourgeois tourist hotspot some 20 years ago. But if you're hoping to pay a visit, you're too late. The church had all the entrances sealed shut fairly recently. Oh, so that's why we have to go to the Notre Dame. Got it. Why would the church do that? Believe it or not, they considered the turning of a mausoleum into a tourist attraction to be in poor taste. Oh, right. They shut down all the entrances? Really? Surely there must be one or two left untouched. If there is such an entrance, it's not public knowledge. I see. Can you give us a brief rundown on the history of the catacombs? The cemeteries of Paris were overflowing by the end of the last century. It was a mess, from what I hear. To create space, King Louis XVI ordered for old skeletons to be excavated and put into unused mine tunnels that lie under the city. So, with a little renovation and many years of hard work, the mines were successfully turned into a subterranean mausoleum. So, what? It's basically a grave for a few thousand skeletons? Millions, more like. Don't estimate the size of the tunnels, messieurs. Okay, I think that's it then. I think we're done here for now. Thank you for your time, monsieur. Good day. If the sleeping city really is in the Paris catacombs, then there must be a way to get in. An underground network would probably be connected to the city's sewers, right? So we just need to find the right manhole and boom! We're in spooky, scary Skeleton Town. It's a good idea. Or maybe it connects to the Seine. Perhaps some swimming is in order. You two dunces are gonna get yourselves killed. If you really wish to visit the catacombs, you would be best off asking for those responsible for the closures. That dead people? The church, monsieur. The church would know if any unsealed entrances still exist. Oh, right. And that's why we're gonna go to the church. Okay. So, Notre Dame. I'm hoping I can get my other piece of evidence here. Oh! This is different. Did you sneak out of the liver again? Keep telling you, my brother. You can't risk being seen. There's too much at stake. But the good word must be spread, my brother. We need as many supporters as possible. No more sulking in the shadows. No more cowering in the dark. We must rise up against our oppressors. Oh, before I forget, here's your pen back. I borrowed it. Again? Tch, what happened to yours? I lost it. So careless. Don't sweat the petty things, brother. Let's focus on removing the obstacles that stand in the way of our father's dream. Right. Like the annoying little bird who's been poking his beak into our business. He's dangerously close to uncovering our secret. You want me to take care of him? It would be in our interests. I have a nice trap in mind, but... Someone's coming! Go hide. Ah, my brothers have returned. What can I do for you today? A confession, perhaps? Actually, Friar, we're here for information. We want to learn about the catacombs that lie under Paris. The catacombs? You don't want to go down there, my brother. It's a wretched and haunted place. I'm sure it is, but we need to know. But we know that the church was responsible for having the entrances sealed shut. So we figured that maybe there's a super secret friar-only entrance that you know about. A secret entrance? That's an interesting idea. You know, you're not the first birds who have asked about that. We aren't? Yes. A cockerel paid a visit yesterday. Perfect posture and snooty or one-eyed and scowling? The first. A prosecutor, I think you said he was. Anyway, I'll tell you the same thing I told him. If you venture into the catacombs, you will not return. Understood? Not really. You didn't tell us how to get into the catacombs at all. Nor will I tell you, my brother. Take the hint. You have no business there. Now, if you two will excuse me, I have a sermon to prepare. Be on your way. Another dead end. Maybe it's time to wrap this up. We can go tell the inspector what we found and call it a day. Don't quit just yet. I managed to take something from the friar's pocket when he gave his little warning. Seriously? Again. This is becoming something of a bad habit for you. Well, go on then. Let's see what you pilfered. This. You found this pen. In the friar's robes. Yep. Interesting. Actually, this is more than interesting. This is amazing. This is the exact same pen that Judge Romulus uses. It even contains the same green ink. Huh. Do you think it's exactly the same pen, or do you think Romulus and Remus just have a matching set? I honestly don't know. But I do know that this may come in handy. I'm going to keep hold of it. We're still at a dead end, though. My gut tells me that the friar is hiding something, but I can't get him to cough up. It's not like we can beat the information out of him. Let's just go do other stuff and maybe stumble across some more clues. Maybe you're right. Let's go. Okay, now we have everything we need in order to prove that Severin was not the killer. So I'm going to fast forward into the future and get back to where we were for the trial so that we can prove his innocence, and then we will finally start 4B's ending. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and as you can see, I have a lot more evidence this time around. Where I got stuck last time was the street lamps. I couldn't prove that they were broken, but now we have the glass in order to do so. The street lamps over Rue des Morcettes were broken. They're completely non-functional. As proof, I present the glass shards that line the alleyway. These shards originate from the panes of the broken lamps. And I still got some holes in the shoe of my soul. Double proof! Those glass shards could have come from anywhere. You could send one of your underlings to see the broken lamps for themselves, if you want. And waste more time? I think not. This sounds like a stalling tactic. Excuse me, Madame Beermore. I don't remember whether the street lamps were broken or not broken, but I do remember that we had to use a torch to light up the scene. Hey, whose side are you on? I'm just saying, Falcon might be right. It was particularly dark, so it's possible that there weren't any lit street lamps. You said I'm a liar? I thought we were buddies. Stop quibbling, both of you. Maybe the lamps were broken, maybe they weren't. It doesn't matter. I know that Piero's testimony is accurate because I personally saw the rooster at the crime scene 1 minute after Piero did. 1 minute? That's plenty of time for the real murderer to escape and for a passerby to stumble upon the scene. Is it not? You must acknowledge that it is a possibility. I acknowledge nothing. There's an inkling of doubt. You know that there's a slight notion that Piero may be misremembering what he saw. Don't badger the prosecution, Monsieur Falcon. I wasn't badgering. On to the next witness, Madame Beermore. Do you have anyone in mind? I do. There's someone among us who is something of a gun connoisseur. A man who knows everything there is to know about the craft of weaponry. Oh, that's me again. Shut up, Piero. Get off the stand. Yes, ma'am. I call Fontaine forward. Very well. Now, Fontaine, is it true that you're a gun specialist? Well, I hate to brag, but yeah, I know about guns. The mechanics, their beauty. Have you ever heard about the revolver mechanisms America's developing? Wonderful stuff. Fontaine, let's stick to the guns that were found at the crime scene. Tell us about those. Oh, right. Very well. This is the gun found in Severin Cocorico's person at the time of the arrest. It's a standard issue percussion lock Chateau Gendarmerie pistol, 24 centimeters in length, 15 millimeter caliber. Lots of police and soldiers carry these dull things. It's a gun that says, I'm a reliable man of the law. Sounds like our Cocorico. Does it? Cocorico's always told me that the riding crop was his self-defense weapon of choice. It's strange that he had a gun in the first place. Alright, so we got the pistol. And this is the gun found on Croque Monsieur's corpse, clutched tightly in his hands. It's a turnover pistol, double-barreled, ivory handle, 20 centimeter length, 13 millimeter caliber. This is an exquisite and highly customized gun. It's one of a kind. Whoever used this weapon knew their stuff. The Croque Monsieur was a legendary arms dealer. It's no surprise that his personal weapon would be something so flamboyant. We got the turnover pistol. Okay. But what's really fascinating about the Croque Monsieur's gun is the ammunition. You see, the bore of the pistol has been fitted with a set of grooves. Please stop, Fontaine. I didn't call you up here to hear you show off your gun knowledge. Tell us what you uncovered when you examined Croque Monsieur's bullet wound. Right. Well, a lead bullet was embedded in the middle of Croque Monsieur's sternum, and appeared to have a straight angle of entry. So, in other words, the Croque Monsieur was facing his killer when he was shot. That's right. The other interesting point was that the Croque Monsieur's outer clothes were singed. This typically only occurs if the person is close enough to a gunshot to be directly burned by a gun's muzzle flash. And how close does a person have to be burned by a muzzle flash? Less than 3 meters, I'd say. 5 at the very most. Then there's no chance that this was a rogue sniper on the rooftops. The Croque Monsieur's killer was standing in Rue de Marsette's themselves. As it is plainly evident, only one person was found in Rue de Marsette's at the time of the incident. Prosecutor Cocorico. Well said, madame. I think you just unequivocally proved this bird's guilt. Not so fast. I would like to cross-examine the witness. I don't think so. You're overstepping your bounds, bird. Let the lawyer try, Ramus. When he fails, there will be absolutely no doubt to anyone in the room that Cocorico is nothing but a bloodthirsty murderer. Okay. Let's talk about the No, not his. The Croque's pistol. Fontaine, about the Croque Monsieur's turnover pistol. Ammunition. You were about to say something about the gun's ammunition before Madame Beaumont cut you off. Could you give us the details? Oh, great. Now he'll never stop talking. I'm glad you asked, Falcon. See, as you probably know, most bullets are just small, round, lead balls, right? That's not the case here. This particular weapon uses an advanced iron-tipped, aerodynamic, carefully grooved... Actually, it'd just be quicker if I showed you. Take a good look. This is the iron-tipped mini-ball. It's a very rare, top-of-the-line technology. Before last night, I'd never seen one of these in person before. Like I said before, the Croque Monsieur was a legendary arms dealer. It only makes sense that he would have access to the latest weaponry. Where did you find this bullet, Fontaine? In the turnover pistol's chamber. Alright, hold on. I'm confused. I thought the Croque Monsieur fired his gun, so how is it possible that his gun was still loaded with the bullet? A turnover pistol's double-barreled. It means that it can hold 2 bullets at once, ready to be fired in quick succession. Ah, I see. The Croque Monsieur fired 1 bullet, but died before he could fire the second. I trust that you have no other questions about this matter, Falcon? We've wasted enough time already. Wait, where's the other bullet? Not yet. Where's the other bullet? What other bullet? The fired mini-ball. There were 2 shots that night, remember? One from the assailant and one from the crocodile. I scoured the scene for a couple minutes, but I couldn't find it. It's a pity. It would have been great to have 2 of these magnificent bullets. Madame Beaumont, did anyone find the fired mini-ball in Cocorico's body? In his body? You're asking if Cocorico was wounded by the bullet. No, that much is plain to see. So again, I must ask, where is the fired mini-ball? Well, I don't have any clue. What are you trying to get at, Falcon? Isn't it obvious? If the bullet wasn't embedded into the alleyway wall, and it wasn't embedded in Cocorico, then that means... Yeah, there we go. The bullet hit the murderer. The real murderer. It must still be embedded in whoever attacked the Croque Monsieur. A ludicrous notion. It makes perfect sense. The double-barreled turnover gun. The missing bullet. Fine. I'll humor you. Let's say that a bullet did indeed hit the real perpetrator. What of it? Well, it's only been a few hours since the shooting. Presumably, the person will still have the bullet lodged in them. Find the person with the unique iron mini-ball embedded in them, and you find the real murderer. That's reasonable, but we don't have the time nor the resources to search every citizen of Paris to uncover an injured gunman. You don't have to search everyone in Paris. I believe the murderer to be someone in this very room. Oh? You think we have a traitor in our ranks? I do. This was obviously a planned attack. Someone invited Cocorico and the Croque Monsieur to the same place at the same time in order to create a setup. Only someone with the rebels' connections could engineer such an event. This is ridiculous. Are you really saying that someone in this room was shot last night? It's clearly untrue. A bullet wound can be concealed. Perhaps if you were all to take off your shirts. No. I'm not having everyone in the room stripped down to their knickers just to cater to your outrageous theory. If you can't think of a more reasonable way to prove your stray bullet theory, then we'll just end this trial here and now. A more reasonable way? I have a more reasonable way. What are you thinking, Falcon? Isn't it obvious? We have a perfect way to uncover whether someone's been shot or not. It's a genius solution. Yeah, there we go, the extractor. Are you serious, Falcon? You're relying on the invention of a lunatic? I've never been more serious. Madame Beaumont, Fair Ramus and members of the court, this device is called an explorer extractor. It's the latest medical technology. It looks like a children's toy. I assure you, this is no toy. It was designed to find and extract metal embedded in bodies. A battlefield bullet finder and remover, if you will. I'm intrigued. So you're saying that you just swing that device around and it finds a bullet in a person? Yes, sort of. I don't know. We haven't had a chance to practice with it, really. Madame, these birds are playing you for a fool. There's no way that such a device exists. We have seen this device work with our own eyes. Sparrowson shall demonstrate. Me? Although, he will need something to demonstrate it on. The bullet. Here we have an iron-tipped mini-ball, as presented by Fontaine moments ago. Observe, I placed the bullet in my closed fist, and now represents the fired bullet that is currently embedded in the murderer's body. Allegedly. Now, Sparrowson will demonstrate what happens when my hand is scanned with the Explorer extractor device. So, I just do this and... There we go. It's humming and buzzing. Is it really detecting that bullet? Absolutely. What an intriguing device. Hey, what would happen if I were to hit extract right now? Please don't. You remember what happened to that steak, right? My, what is this feeling? It feels like... power! Don't let it get to your head. Okay, I'm convinced. Falcon, Sparrowson, you may perform a cursory scan of each of us with that device of yours. You must stop humoring these morons, madame. What good is this doing us? Ramus, they may be morons, but this test will grant us certainty of the rooster's fate. I can afford that time. Hey, Falcon, what'll happen if the murderer is someone not present in this room? It most likely isn't. What? I'm stalling. Falcon! Get a move on, you two. I really must express my displeasure that you are going along with this farce, Madame Beermore. Let us end this trial right here and now. You can get the justice you so crave. He's being really shady. Very suspicious. Don't worry, Ramus. My patience for this bird brain is wearing thin too. When this asinine scheme of his fails, he will face the consequences. Lackey Bird, scan the rooster first. He is the prime suspect after all. Okay. I'm not getting any reaction. That means there's probably no bullet lodged in Cocorico. So, he's innocent, for sure. No. All it means is that this bird was not shot by a hypothetical bullet. Don't forget, this is all speculation on Falcon's part. Indeed it is. Madame, I must insist that you end this. It's a fool's errand. We have other matters we must attend to. Ramus, you let me worry about our time management. Piero, you go next. Alright, let's get this over with. No reaction. That means Piero wasn't shot either. No surprises there, right guys? Let's see. Next we shall test... Madame, I implore you. You're being awfully lippy, Remus. Why don't you go next? Me? That's not really necessary, madame. I don't want to participate in this ridiculous child's game. This is no game, and I'm issuing you an order to cooperate. I refuse. Piero, please restrain Remus. With pleasure, ma'am. I'd love to. What are you doing? Keep your filthy talons off of me. I will not be manhandled by... Ow, stop that. You're making a mistake. Madame, think a little harder. I have an alibi. I was with you the whole evening. Sparrowson, do the test. Oh, there's nothing? Falcon? I'm not getting any reaction. That can't be right. Do it again. There's nothing. Fear Ramus has not been shot, as far as this evidence can tell, or device can tell. Oh my god, I can't read. The utter nerve to manhandle a man of the cloth like that. As I said on the floor, madame, I was with you and Fontaine for the entire evening. I could not possibly be in two places at once. But there's somebody else who looks like you. It's true. You were sitting in my line of sight exactly when the murder was supposed to have taken place. What's going on with my voice? As was I. Right. Fontaine was sitting with us too, so that rules him out. And now, and I know that I didn't perform the murder, obviously. Which means that every suspect has been accounted for. Go sit down, lackey. Your job is done. You realize what this means, don't you, Falcon? Your little test failed. Your hypothetical bullet theory turned out to be unsubstantiated speculation. Pure guesswork. Shall we end the trial, madame? Wait, there must be someone we're not accounting for. I just know it. There's someone else who could have been the shooter. I know who it is. That's why the pamphlet was dropped in the catacombs. Is it Romulus or is it Silvius? Does the name Silvius mean anything to anyone here? Oh, I was expecting some reaction. Fair Amos, you're sure you don't recognize the name Silvius? No, it means nothing to me. Be more direct, Falcon. Go straight for the jugular. Alright, judge it is then. Boom! Fair Amos, how's your brother? The man named Romulus. My brother? He was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government. You and I know that isn't true. Your brother is still in France. In fact, I think he's lurking in these catacombs right now. An absurd notion. Your theories are getting more and more outlandish, Falcon. Where is your evidence?
Oh, I know. I can answer this one. This! I found this in the catacomb tunnel.
An introductory guide to the cult of reason? Thank you, Sparrowson. Now, Frere Remus, does this pamphlet look familiar to you? No, I've never seen it in my life. Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't belong to your brother, Romulus? No, there are many cultists in Paris. Maybe it belongs to one of them. Falcon, I'll take your word that your lackey found this pamphlet in the catacombs. But Remus is right. You have no evidence that this man known as Romulus is the one who dropped it. The pamphlet could have been dropped by anyone. It could even have been dragged on the sole of Pierre's shoe, for all I know. Wouldn't be the first time. Actually, madame, I know for a fact that that pamphlet belonged to Romulus, and I can prove it. Pen! This pen is the key.
You're putting the cart before the horse, Falcon. Let's answer Beamer's query directly first.
Right, let's try again. Madame Beamer, I know for a fact that the pamphlet belonged to Romulus because I have another key piece of evidence. Oh, the guide? A little while ago, while sitting in the lavure, I saw a man who looked very much like Romulus handing out pamphlets. As you can see, this pamphlet from the lavure is identical to the pamphlet from the catacombs, except for one important detail. Romulus signed the lavure pamphlet himself. No way, my brother wouldn't do something so foolish. Do you see? Right here on the cover page. That is Romulus' signature. I admire your tenacity, Falcon, but something is blatantly wrong with your evidence. We know that the brother of Frere Remus is named Romulus, but this lavure pamphlet of yours is signed Silvius. Clearly an alias. Romulus is on the run from the police, so he must have changed his identity. That's a plausible theory, but unsubstantiated. How do we know that this pamphlet was signed by Remus's brother? Now the fountain pen. This fountain pen. Hey, where did you get that? Is it my brother's or mine? Wow, Remus. Your mouth is almost as big as Romulus's. Anyway, I believe it's yours. Sparrowson happened to find this pen in your robes just a few days ago. You mean he stole it? Let's not argue over the semantics. What's important, and what you just admitted, is that you and your brother both owned pens just like this one. See? These pens are unique in that they contain green ink, a very unusual choice of ink color.
A very evil choice, too.
But yes, but more importantly, it's the same ink that was used on this signed pamphlet. Since there are only two pens, there are only two possibilities. Either Frere Remus has been signing off on atheist cultist propaganda. I would never do such a thing. Or his brother has been using his identical pen to sign cultist propaganda. The same type that was found in these catacombs. Impossible! My clumsy overlord brother lost his pen a week ago. Oh? So then the only explanation is that you lent him your own. No, you see, it doesn't matter how you cut it, Friar. One way or another, you and your brother are tied to the cultist pamphlet. Admit it. Confess. Falcon, enough. You've made your point. You're asserting that the Friar pen ties him to the cultist pamphlet. I get it. This is all tenuous? Wouldn't you say, madame? No question. Falcon has suggested a theory that hinges upon a theory that hinges upon yet another theory. It's not hard proof by any measure. He may very well be wrong, but at least he's logical. His theory is self-consistent. What are you saying, madame? Falcon, where did you say you found this leaflet? The unsigned one, that is.
Oh, down on the catacombs tunnel, through the fork on the left-hand side.
Fontaine, Piero, go and see if you can find anyone dawdling there, where they shouldn't be. Good God, I like get sent into the characters and then I can't read. Yes, madame. Yes, ma'am. We're gonna find him. I'm glad Cocorico's still alive, though. That's nice. It's good to have him, actually still there with me. In a moment, one of two things will happen. Either Piero and Fontaine will return empty-handed, in which case I'll have no choice but to execute Cocorico. And then I will have to execute you too, Falcon. And you, Sparrowson.
Us?
Not because of what you've seen tonight, although that's admittedly a problem, but because your lies would have been treasonous to our new republic.
I didn't sign up for this.
Or, Piero and Fontaine will return with the prisoner in tow, in which case,
we would be free to cut Cocorico down and skedaddle?
Surely not, madame. You're not going to let these three just walk free after everything that's happened here. Remember what this rooster did to your father? Hold your tongue, Friar, if it turns out you've been deceiving me all this time.
Man, Beermort, look who we found.
Ow, 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 stop shoving me. I can walk myself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we really do have a ghost in the catacombs. Introduce yourself, wolf. Very well, mademoiselle. My name... Madame. Right, madame. Whatever. My name is Silvius...
Don't you mean Romulus? That alias isn't fooling anyone, Your Honor.
Alright. I'm Romulus, twin brother of Remus, and loyal servant to the rebel cause. That's the whole truth. He's telling the truth, madame. Long live the Second Republic? Right, guys? I have a lot of questions, both for you, Romulus, and for you, Remus. But I don't appreciate being lied to. It seems that you have your hands full, so we'll just be taking our leave. Not so fast, Falcon. Your theory's still unproven. If it turns out that Romulus has no bullet in him, then you would have no evidence that implicates him of the Croque-Monsieur's murder. Cocorico would still be the prime suspect. Bullet? In me? What are you guys on about? Spare me. Fontaine, hold him down. Hold me down? Ow! Ow, ow, ow! Sparrowson, do your test.
I'm on it.
Oh, he got a hum! Yes! It's buzzing! It's buzzing right around his shoulder. I see blood. There's definitely a bullet wound here. That's an old bullet! An old war wound! I got it fighting in Algeria in '36. Obviously a desperate lie. My brother's being completely honest, madame. He's a veteran. He was shot in battle.
You know, I could just extract the bullet right here and now. That would remove all doubt.
I don't know. I kind of want to. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Extract that sucker, Sparrowson.
Ah! Wow. Sucked it out like a pit from a grapefruit. Hey, look at that. If I'm not mistaken, this one's from the new fangled bullets. Am I right, Fontaine?
Okay, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm just frustrated at him because in the second case, I wasn't able to link the murder to him, so he gets that. That's what he gets, that's what he deserves. I'm so happy that things have changed. There's no mistake. It's an iron-tipped mini ball, just like the one in Croque-Monsieur's gun. Do you realize what this means, madame? It clearly demonstrates that Romulus confronted the Croque-Monsieur before Cocorico arrived. It's undeniable evidence that Cocorico had nothing to do with the crocodile's death. You're right. I made a mistake. I haven't forgotten what the rooster did to my father, but this bird clearly had no part in the killing of Croque-Monsieur. Therefore, I cannot honestly call him an enemy of the Second Republic. Your friend is free to go. Fontaine, cut the rooster down. Right away, madame. Thank you, madame. For what? For giving us an opportunity to show you what justice looks like. Before, you asked what the difference between revenge and justice, and I replied rationality. Well, I can see how much effort it must have taken to hold back your emotions and let rationality dictate your actions. Pierre and Fontaine will help you carry your friend to the tunnel entrance. We're on it, madame. Would you be okay by yourself with the two wolves? These toothless old dogs? I think I'll manage. Of course. Come on, brother. To your feet. So, cultists? Cultist is such a strong word. Listen, mademoiselle. Don't mademoiselle me. I shall be asking the questions here. Tell me, friar, are you a cultist too? Madame, I'm just a humble servant of God. I never realized how poisonous your words are. You've been spewing lies since the very start, haven't you? Madame, at least tell me why you two killed the Croque-Monsieur. Because, allow me, brother. You want to know the truth? We want exactly the same thing as you. We want a world without class, a world without false rulers and gods, a world where only the reason of man reigns. Gotcha. A world of true equity and fairness. This is what you strive for, no? But you cannot achieve such a goal without violence. Your methods are too passive, too naive. So we set up a situation where you would be forced into action. Make the government look like murderers to the rebels, and make the rebels look like murderers to the government. Then, you will be forced to take up arms. Another lie. But, that was the truth. You claim that you want equality, but you just want a world where you stand above everyone else. A world where carnivores reign. You're a rabid animal at heart. You got me. But can you honestly say that you never wanted power for yourself? You're a carnivore too. Don't deny it. No, I've never wanted power. All I've ever wanted was a world where no child has to grow up without a father. Did you know that the Croque-Monsieur was something of a family man? He once confided in me that he had 5 children and a late wife. I had no idea. Tell me, Romulus, do you have children? Me? No, mademoiselle, Oh, snap! Brother? As for you, friar, get out of here. You aren't gonna kill me? I ought to. You are the worst kind of person. A man who will cling to any ideology to claw his way higher. But I know you aren't the one to pull the trigger on the Croque-Monsieur. Maybe there's a slither of goodness left in you. Go. Wow. Is this what justice looks like? It's so uncaring. Whew. Okay. That's the end of Act 3, but like I said, we're going through 4B. Oh man, oh man. You kicked so much derriere at that impromptu trial yesterday. Those rebels were all like, we're executing this punk. Mob justice, rah rah rah. But you were all like, this isn't how we do things in France, chicken pluckers. And then they were all like, Sparrowson, let's get serious for a moment. Serious? You just pulled off the craziest lowering move in the history of French law. We should be celebrating. We don't have time to pull out the champagne. Didn't you see the anger in the rebels' eyes? Didn't you feel the tension in the air? We're just days away from violence breaking out onto the streets. Oh yeah, I guess another revolution might be around the corner. But what exactly can we do? We already told the police everything we know. Unless, you're not thinking of arming yourself to the teeth and fighting the rebel forces yourself, are you? What? No. You watch far too many action operas. I was thinking of preparing a legal case.
A case? For whom?
At their core, all historical revolutions center on trials. A nation's rulers are tried and held accountable for their crimes. But you saw the horrendous trial that took place last night. Nobody cares about due process when emotions are running high. Regardless of the outcome of the revolution, we need to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity for justice.
That makes sense. So what's the plan? We head to Quanell's Tavern and hand out some business cards?
Think bigger. Who will the rebels target?
The king?
Exactly. To the Palais Royal.
Are we putting the king on trial?
What? Falcon and Sparrowson rush to the Palais Royal to arrange a private audience with the king. After filling in a pile of forms, the two are led to a waiting area. Are you here to see the king? That's right. Okay, take a number and wait to be called. Take a number? Yep, just wait your turn. More fools have come to see the king. Let me guess. Lawyers. That's right. How did you...
Hey, I know you. You're the Prime Minister, Monsieur Guizot.
Oh, wow, you're right, Sparrowson. It's an honor to meet you, Prime Minister. Spare the formalities. You two are here to offer the king legal aid, aren't you?
Yep, we're gonna offer him assistance for the upcoming rebellion.
Let me give you a word of advice. Don't bother. Excuse me? The king doesn't take kindly to any form of criticism. He buries his head so far in the sand that one could swear he's an ostrich. One would think that 7 assassination attempts would be enough for a man to learn that he is detested. With all due respect, Prime Minister, I think the King of France is mature enough to not let his ego get in the way of his senses. So one would think.
24!
That's us. It was a pleasure meeting you, Monsieur. Good luck. You'll need it.
24, calling number 24.
Good day, Your Majesty.
Good day, messieurs.
Can I help you with something? Oh, I probably should have prepared a speech beforehand. That would have been smart, huh?
Just wing it.
Right. Let's see. How to start. Listen up. Your Majesty. Your Majesty, what am I about to say is of the utmost importance. Please listen closely. Okay, listening. Murd's about to go down. There's a storm coming. Rebels are plotting your downfall, and many believe that a serious uprising is imminent. Imminent, you say? Goodness. We are sure that such a pitiful revolt will blow over in no time at all. Nonetheless, we would like to humbly offer our latest aid as lawyers. We may be of great use to the throne in this troublesome time. I think I understand. You do? I understand that you're a pair of con artists attempting to screw the self-made bourgeois out of his hard-earned cash. You have some nerve to imply that my people hate me. I'm the citizen king. I'm beloved by all.
Beloved kings tend to experience fewer assassination attempts.
Beck, have these two crooks thrown in jail. Maybe that will teach them a thing or two about respect. Right away, Your Majesty. You can't be serious. And now we're in jail. Great. Oh, he was serious.
Well, this is another fine mess you've gotten me into.
There's no need for the attitude, Sparrowson. We won't be in here for long. Once we receive a court hearing, the judges will no doubt dismiss our charges instantly.
And how long will it take for us to get a court hearing? Tell me that, Monsieur Smarty Pants.
A week or so, I'm guessing. I can see why that might be a problem. The revolution could be in full swing by then. What to do?
We try escaping.
Don't be ridiculous. Nobody has ever escaped from the concierge before.
But nobody has ever locked the genius Sparrowson and his witty lackey Falcon into the same jail cell before.
It's an absurd suggestion.
Got any better ideas?
Okay, let's break out of prison.
Fantastic.
Look,
Falcon, a loose brick. We can wait for a guard to transfer us to some place, sneak up behind him, and then
we get a death sentence for murder. I think not. Let's search a little harder. What's this?
A ledge! Give me a leg up and I can grab on and shimmy my way over somewhere.
Let's be honest, Sparrowson. Neither of us have the physical prowess to shimmy anywhere. Fireplace. It's been bricked up, so escaping up the chimney isn't an option. What's this?
There's a bit of scrap metal in this hole. I think it broke off an iron shackle. We could dig through the stone walls with this. See? It's all scratchy.
That may actually work, if we had a decade or two.
So that's a maybe on the stone digging scheme?
Well, I'll keep it in mind in case the king decides to go all Count of Monte Cristo on us.
There's a little den here. One of us could hide.
Hide? What would that accomplish?
Well, a guard would eventually come in and be like, "Where's the other prisoner?" And then we use the momentary confusion to push him over and escape.
Do you really think an experienced guard would be confused by a prisoner hiding in the little hole in the wall? We can do better. What? Where?
Huh?
I don't see anywhere else that I'm supposed to find. Oh, they took all my evidence. I still got my money though. That's good. Can I use my money? Can I use my fat wallet? Probably not. I don't see anything. There's nowhere else to click. I give up.
So soon?
Yes. Trying to escape from a notoriously inescapable prison wasn't the smartest plan we've ever devised. Well, well, well. That voice. That condescending tone. Cocorico!
Yay!
Just what are you two bird brains doing? Severin, are you alright? Yes, yes, I'm fine. The injuries I sustained were mostly superficial. The doctor advised me not to do anything strenuous anytime soon, but he gave the all clear for returning to my job. So tell me, why did I get a memo informing me that JJ Falcon and Sparrowson were being held in the concierge for treason?
It's all Falcon's fault.
Naturally. I figured that if a revolution is inevitable, we should do our best to ensure that the uprising proceeds in an organized manner. The less bloodshed, the better. Okay, so what did you do? We offered the king our assistance. We said that we would defend him in court, and if and when such a need arises.
Well, we didn't quite use those words.
This isn't the first time the king has had someone in prison for something so pointless. What a pig-headed fool. Consider your charges dropped.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Hold on. You've caught my interest with this idea of yours. A bloodless revolution. You are absolutely right in that if the king is captured, the citizens will devolve into an unruly mob of animals. We should prepare for a formal trial. No, we should preempt it.
We? You're gonna help us?
Of course. This isn't a task that can be handled by two birds alone. What do you mean by preempt, Severin? We go on the offensive. We charge the king with crimes against the French people before the rebels can even act. We can do that? We can certainly try. I'll start building a case against the king. My argument will be focused on the king's gluttonous and irrelevant fiscal policies, his lack of commitment to his social-political promises, his lack of overall ineptitude and irresponsibility on all facets of his duty as a monarchical ruler, and, obviously, his denial of universal suffrage.
Obviously.
How am I supposed to defend the king from all that? You can't. If you try to argue with logic and facts, this hypothetical trial will inevitably result in a landslide guilty verdict. So I suggest you take a different approach. Appeal to the king's character. Try to win people's hearts with the tales of the beloved Citizen King.
He hasn't been called the Citizen King for like 10 years.
It was just a suggestion. But consider this. You don't need to win the case. You just need to make a strong enough argument that the trial is fair. All that remains is ensuring the king can be peacefully brought to the courthouse when the protests start to turn violent. That's a job for the police and the royal guard. I'll inform Inspector Volerty of our plan so that he can prepare accordingly. At least, I would if I could find him.
Inspector Volerty's missing?
Apparently. He's taken an informal leave of absence since Wednesday. Hold on, Falcon. One thing eludes me. As you probably figured, Inspector Valerti had me perform an investigation into your past. He thought you were the Viridian killer, crazy as it sounds. And, well, I'm sorry for doing that. It was quite invasive of me, but I can't help but wonder. Why did you change your name around 1830? Because I was ashamed, I suppose. I had a family name to live up to. My grandfather was something of a successful lawyer. So when I turned up to my classes at law school, people would gawp at me. They would say, wow, you have big shoes to fill, and your grandfather would be proud. But I was a terrible law student. Mediocre at best. I knew that, deep down. I would never be half the man that my grandfather was. Fascinating. I had no idea. Who was your grandfather, if you don't mind me asking, Falcon? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he was just another overly opinionated rebel who died in the old revolution. I see. Well, let's not dilly-dally any longer. We have duties to carry out.
Right. We're gonna find antidotes, and we're gonna defend the king, whether he likes it or not. I wonder if his grandfather was the Viridian killer.
Oh god. Am I supposed to go to each of these places? Okay. Oh god. Tavern. The tavern would be a good place to go, right? Ah, just the dodo I wanted to see. Madame Coinel, quick question. Have you ever served the King of France? Good one, hon. That's hilarious. Me serving the king. Me. Would you like some wine, Your Majesty? I can't wait to see the King of Denmark. I think that was a no. And I think you might be right. Okay then. What about you guys? Inspector Valerti? Hello, Inspector. Falcon! J. Falcon! Yes? I think I made a mistake.
I'll say. Do I see 2 empty bottles of Russian vodka? That's a mystery how you're still standing.
No. Listen. This is important. Inspector, maybe we should have a conversation with you when you're a little more sober. No, Falcon. Listen, Falcon. Falcon, I thought you were the man. The what? The Viridian killer. The man who injured me in the July Revolution. You thought I was the Viridian killer? How could you even come to that conclusion? I saw that. You changed the name around 1830 and I made an assumption. Wait, is this why you gave Severin a tip-off? Were you trying to lure the animal out of me or something? I'm sorry, Falcon. It was a mistake. Do you forgive me? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure. I forgive you for assuming I'm a mass murderer, and then for nearly killing me and Severin in order to prove it. Oh, thank you, Falcon. Now, listen closely, Inspector. I have a favor to ask of you. A favor? For you, JJ. Anything.
Maybe we should wait until the inspector's a little more coherent.
No! I want to help. I must pay my debt. Excellent. So Severin and I are planning a case, a very big case, against the King of France. We intend on trying him before the rebels can get their hands on him. When the rebellion starts, we would like you to bring the king to the courthouse. Do you think you can do that? Inspector? Treason! You sympathize with the rebel cause! This isn't treason, Inspector. We're ensuring the safest outcome to an inevitable revolution. You are treason. You are treason. You scum.
Told you. Incoherent.
Yeah. I guess you were right, Sparrowson. Well, Inspector, maybe you should contact us if you change your mind. Once you've sobered up. Well then, I hope I didn't mess it up by going there quick, but... Are you seriously still want to play cards? Oh my god. Go away. I don't even know what money does in this game. I have no idea what the point of currency is. I don't understand it. Oh god. I hope Valerti I hope he makes it through for us. Okay, let's go to here because it's a market. We may be able to hear some stories.
Time for some shopping, Falcon?
Maybe later. For now, we need to find someone who's spoken to the king. He's been known to pass through the halls on occasion, so if we're lucky.
Hey, messieurs, it's us, remember?
We remember. Are you keeping alive and well? Are you keeping well, madam?
Absolutely. Never better. So what can I sell you today?
Information. We're looking for positive stories about the king. I don't suppose that you have any.
The king? No, I haven't got nothing to say about the king. The king's a smelly egg thief.
Quiet, child. You know what they say about the king having spies everywhere.
Spies?
Calm down, Sparrowson. The rumors of the king having an elaborate spy network are patently untrue.
Then how do you explain the shutdown banquets, huh? The government's chomping down on anyone who dissents, you know.
Let's get the conversation back on track. Joey, can you tell us why the king's a smelly egg thief?
My name's not Joey.
It's nothing you need to concern yourself with, messieurs. Please, go on, madame.
Don't worry, we aren't spies. At least, I don't think we are.
I know.
I trust you guys. See, a couple of years ago, we were running a shop, an antiques and odds and ends shop. And we had an egg. It was this golden egg, super precious. We must have bought that thing for 200 francs, but it was easily worth 10 times that. We were planning on making a nice tidy sum from it.
I see, an investment egg. So what happened?
Well, one day we were visited by the king, no less, and old King Lou Phil shows an interest in our egg. So we were thinking this is our chance to make bank, right? But then the geezer just goes and waddles off with it.
Without paying you?
Oh yeah, he paid us all right.
What's this?
The coin of one of the king's guards flipped our way. It is even French. I think this is British. One of those crazy imperial unit coins from the crazy imperial country.
I have no idea what the British-French exchange rate is, but can we buy this off of you, madame?
Put your wallet away and keep it. It's worthless to me. Oh, we got a coin. Losing that egg bankrupted us and put us out on the streets. But now we bounce back. Sometime in Gambad, better than ever.
That's excellent to hear. Anyway, we must take our leave. You've been a huge help, madame.
We're gonna kick that king's butt and get your egg back.
Hold on. We're supposed to be the defense. Don't do bad things. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 more places.
I don't know when the trial's gonna happen.
The library, the Palace of Justice. I don't think we need to go to R&M. Let's go here. Sorry, this video is a little bit long. I want to get this in one video, like one sitting, though.
Monsieur Kingsley, we need your help.
Oh, that's not what I needed to do. Finally, it's about time someone around here appreciated my skills. Your fishing skills, right? That term is angling, wise guy. This has nothing to do with fishing. Let me cut the preamble. We were looking for people who have positive stories about the king. Would you happen to have any?
Stories, huh?
Came to the right guy. I have a whale of a story for you. So the other day, I was fishing, and I caught this monster of a catfish. It was like 2 meters long, easily.
Here we go. I caught a fish, and it was this big.
Oh, sure. I drag a 90-kilogram falcon out of the water, and everyone buys it. But I claim to catch one big fish, and suddenly everyone's a skeptic. Please, continue your story, Monsieur Kingsley. No, right. Anyway, the king of all people happens to be walking by with his entourage. And they clapped and cheered and came over to see the fish. And then the king says, I'm hungry. Let's cook this fellow up.
And then he just walks off with my fish. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. It seems something like something a royal penguin would do.
Did you at least get paid for your fish?
Oh yes. One of the royal guards was kind enough to flip me 1 franc my way.
1 franc? He might as well just flip the bird.
No offense.
Haha. So the king supports the local fishing industry. I'm writing this down.
So we got this story. I have no idea if the story will be of any use of us, but we appreciate your time, monsieur. Good day to you.
Bye, Monsieur Fisherman.
Hey, don't call me a fisherman. Don't do it. 3 more places. Let's go to the court. Go to the courts, go to the library, and then we'll see. Excuse me, Judge Maxime. Oh, hello, Falcon. Nice work on that catacombs business. Word has really spread about your impromptu lawyering skills. Really? I'm gaining a reputation?
Hey, I helped too.
Of course you did, Robbington.
Sparrowson.
Right, Sparrington. Judge Maxime, I don't suppose Monsieur Cocorico's filled you in on what we've been working on since then. No, he hasn't. How do I put this? We're planning a trial of sorts. We intend on forming a case against,
the king.
right, and,
We want you to just educate.
a trial against the king? Interesting. What are his exact charges? I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. That seems more like Severance territory. If you aren't even sure of that, then I don't think you're quite prepared for this trial. Maybe you should leave this to the lawyers who have a little bit more experience. I see. Well, thank you anyway. Let's make a move, Sparrowson.
What about our judge?
It doesn't matter. Let's focus on building a solid defense case for the king, and we can wing it from there. Maybe we can even hold a trial without any judges at all. Just Cocorico, me, and the king in the middle. It's strange, Falcon. You're like your grandfather, and yet you're nothing like him. Wait, you knew my grandfather? Well, I wouldn't say knew. I was just a teenager when he was causing havoc in the courtrooms. But, of course, I am familiar with his work. Falcon, I find your career choice peculiar. Your grandfather worked so hard to prosecute King Louis XVI, and yet here you are, rigorously working to defend your own king. Just like him, you would have made an excellent prosecutor. So why did you choose the rocky path of private defender? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I wanted to take myself out of my grandfather's shadow. I'm gonna carve my own path as a lawyer. I don't want to be a poor imitation of an old hero. Quite understandable. Oh, just look at the time. I'm due back in the courtroom. But before I go, let me just say that I would be happy to adjudicate your trial, Falcon. Really? That's fantastic. Thank you, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Show me what the grandson of Maximilien Robespierre is capable of. Maximilien Robespierre? That just sounds amazing. Okay, here we go. Nathan never lets us down for useful information. I'm sure he's got something interesting and pleasant to say about the king. Oh, it's you, messieurs. Perhaps you'll surprise me today and actually take out a book.
Nope, just the usual today. An endless stream of questions.
You two need an encyclopedia. Well, go on then. Ask whatever drivel you want to ask. Have you ever met King Louis Philippe? I have, as a matter of fact. He occasionally drops by this library to check out books. Unlike some people. What sort of books does he check out, monsieur? Thick books. I believe the last one he checked out was An Expansive History of the Macedonian Empire. I had no idea that this majesty was interested in academic history.
I'll make a note. King Philly was a well-read and intelligent man.
It must be said that the books are usually returned with footprints on the covers. This leads me to believe the king may just use them to stand on during speeches. Oh.
We'll just leave that part out.
Is he a good leader? From your well-educated standpoint, is King Louis Philippe a good leader, as far as leaders go? Well, I can't fault the king's pro-business spirit. The big industry leaders love him.
Oh, that sounds promising.
Of course, this comes at the expense of everyone who isn't a bourgeois. The wealth divide is stronger than ever.
Maybe not.
You can forget about socially progressive policies. The king signs off on all Guswad's backward-thinking policies. And of course, in terms of leadership and charisma, the king is about as personable as a rotten pear. That'll do, monsieur. A simple no would have sufficed. Okay, we're good. That'll be all. Thank you for your time and patience, monsieur. I look forward to your next round of idiotic questions. I really do. Aw! Bye, Nathan! One more day. Do we have time? I think we do. Okay, cool.
Visitors, Monsieur Phelps, visitors!
Ha! If it isn't Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson, how may I help you two today? We're doing very well, monsieur, but we don't have much time, so let me cut to the chase. We're collecting positive anecdotes about the king. Would you happen to have any? Positive anecdotes, How curious. As it happens, I have met the king twice. Once, as you know, in my Juan Quierdo persona. Oh, right, of course. I don't think that story would be any use to us. What was the other incident? I can tell you, but there's a price. Are you serious? You're such a money grabber. A fox has to eat, monsieur. Fine, fine. How much do you want? 40 francs sound good? 10,000. I don't have that kind of money, monsieur. No matter. I'm sure you'll think of some way of repaying the debt.
Between that and my medical bills, we should be ready to afford basic things like food by the year 4000?
Let's not worry about the debt for now, messieurs. Let me just tell you the story. It was several years ago, 1841 I believe. I was lingering around the Ile de l'Este. I was in pursuit of an investigative lead, so I had adopted the persona and outfit of a sickly beggar. That's when I was approached by a kind-faced man. It was the king himself. He took a 20-franc coin out of his pocket. The king gave money to a sick beggar? Or at least someone who looked like a sick beggar. That's great, we can use that. I'm not done, monsieur. The king took the coin out and said, I know what it's like to be poor. When I was your age, I only had 1,000 of these to my name. He then pocketed the coin and left. Oh.
I'll make a note. Gave financial advice to the poor and needy.
I hope that anecdote was of some use to you, monsieur. It might be, but I don't feel like we got 10,000 francs worth of material. I see. No matter. Just keep me in mind if you ever see a potential client. We will. Have a pleasant day, monsieur. So we actually have like a trial that we have to do now. Oh, jeez.
What's the plan for today? Hitting the Aviary? Checking out less halls, maybe?
Actually, I was thinking... Severin? How rude. Don't they teach you to knock... No time for bickering, JJ. It's time. Time? For what? The trial, you dunce!
Already?
A large protest has started to form at the Palace de la Concorde. No doubt it'll turn into an unruly mob before long. The spirit of revolution is in the air. We must act now. I'm going to start the necessary preparations at the courthouse, so I need you to get the king from the Palais Royal. You want me to drag the king to the courthouse? I'm not even sure that I could drag him from his chair. Use diplomacy, you dolt. I'm sure you'll think of something. Right. Come along, Sparrowson. We have a king to defend. Oh god, how are we gonna defend him? How are we gonna get him there, even? Falcon and Sparrowson rush across the city. Scores of angry eyes watch the pair's every movement. Cocorico was right. The spirit of revolution is in the air. Outside the Palais Royal, a crowd has started to form. The royal guards watch in nervous anticipation.
3,600 and...
Save it! We're number one!
You again? Shouldn't you be in jail?
There's no time for that nonsense! Your Majesty, we need you to come with us.
Why?
There's a sale on fish. There's a trial.
Well, why didn't you say so? I love trials. Am I needed to give testimony? Please say it's so.
As a matter of fact, Your Majesty, yes. I think you will need to give a testimony.
Oh, goody, goody, goody. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
That was the easiest thing I think that's ever happened in this game.
Did anyone spot us?
I don't think so. It's still too early. The crowds are only just starting to form. With any luck, we can get this trial over before anyone realizes what's going on. You. Uh-oh. You treasonous scumbags. You actually captured the king.
Captured? Clearly a joke, Your Majesty. Very subtle. I like it.
So it's true. You do intend to hold a trial. Your actions are utterly despicable. You're all on the same level as the filthy rebel dissenters. Do you intend to stop us, Inspector? On any other day I would. You are rotten lawbreakers through and through. I want nothing more than to see you tried and punished for your traitorous stances. But I owe a debt to you, Falcon, and to Monsieur Cocorico. So, you'll let us pass. I have ordered a dozen National Guards to set up a perimeter around the entrance of Palais de Justice. The rebels will inevitably catch word that the king is here. They will try to storm the building, and when they do, we'll be ready to hold them off. It's amazing! Thank you, Inspector! Go on, before I change my mind. Oh, here we go. Not sure how long this trial's gonna be, but... Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down.
Oh, should I be standing here? Am I in the right place?
Where you are is perfect, Your Majesty. Now, is everyone here? JJ Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Severin Cocorico, present. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, this'll be good. I wonder who's on trial.
Are all the jury here? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Everything seems to be in order. The court is in now session for the trial of King Louis Philippe.
Woo, that's me. Wait, what?
Calm down, Your Majesty. We're simply prosecuting you for a short list of 32 crimes against the French people.
What is this madness? Did you set me up to this?
Well, yes and no. We're your defense, Your Majesty. I'm so confused. The process is simple. I state a charge that is being leveled at you, and I present my evidence for the charge. You and your defense will then have the opportunity to present their own counter evidence. I'm even more confused. Just let us do the talking, Your Majesty. We're doing this for your own good.
We want you to end up like old Louis XVI now, would we?
Let us proceed. Prosecution, present the first charge. King Louis Philippe, you are being charged with neglecting the lower classes of the nation. You continue to support Guizot's outdated policies and have resulted in an ever-growing wage gap. Your poverty is rampant. Animals are forced to turn to begging, thievery, and burglary. Why can't I talk? Just to survive. How do you justify this vile attitude?
Goodness, you're going straight for the jugular, aren't you? I'm a good person. I don't hate poor people. I feel mild contempt for them, certainly, but don't we all?
Please allow me to do the talking, Your Majesty. Severin, the king is far kinder to poor people than the generous populace have been led to believe. Some would even describe him as a generous philanthropist. Who would describe him as a generous philanthropist? Some would. You're gonna have to do better than that. Show me an example. Just one example of the king being generous to a poor person. Here we go. I would like to present this story. It is the account of a person who was sick and a starving beggar. One day, this beggar was approached by the king. Did the king offer the beggar money? No. He offered something far better. He offered the beggar financial advice.
It's true. I did do that.
Where's that beggar now? He runs a successful business that can pull 40 francs from a single client transaction. Amazing. And the ex-beggar attributes the king for his radical transformation? Well, he didn't say so directly, but it was implied. Interesting. Would you mind telling us the name of this person? Does it matter? Yeah. He's a man named Renard Vulpes. Oh, Renard Vulpes. The trickster and con artist who runs that deplorable private investigation service. You're familiar with him? Of course. That fox has been meddling in trials and disturbing investigations for years. Crap! I was thinking if we didn't say it, then he'd just say we made it up. I don't know if there's a right answer for that, though. If this is the caliber of person that produced the king's financial advice, then we should all be deeply concerned. Oh dear. Outside the Palais Royal, protesters charge at the building's gates, effortlessly overcoming the royal guards. Looters take the opportunity to overrun and ransack the building. Where on earth is that accursed king? Piero!
No sign of him, ma'am. Rumor is he's gone and fled the building. Same as Guizot.
The Prime Minister and the King fled before we even started our assault? How is that even possible? Madame Beaumont, I found someone who may be of use. Oh dear. A royal guard. Nice find, Fontaine. Speak, Duck. Tell us where the king is. You think me a common turncoat. I will have you know that I'm the mighty Officer Beck. I would sooner die than betray my country. Okay. The Palais de Justice. A couple lawyers came and took him to the Palais de Justice. That was easy. Piero, Fontaine, gather the crowd. We're marching on the Palais de Justice. Great. But what are we up to? Charge 12? Please continue, prosecutor. Very well. King Louis Philip, you stand accused of crushing small businesses in favor of supporting wealthier industry giants. Such a neptic attitude only serves to discourage people from forming their own enterprises. I disagree. As a self-made businessman, the king has constantly shown his support for all businesses, big and small. Another ludicrous assertion from the defense. Prove me wrong, JJ. When has the king ever shown support for a grassroots business? Right here. This... No? Sounds like you're reaching. Really? Was it the fish? You guys can't be serious. Outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grande, Inspector Valerity watches as the ever-growing crowd of protesters. The National Guard poise their bayonets, keeping the angry mob at bay. Disgusting rabble, the lot of them. Oh, looks like the guards are letting someone through. An emissary of the rebels? Or perhaps one who considers themselves a leader? Are you the officer in charge of this barricade? I am. I came to talk to you directly. I feel we can settle this maturely. No violence, no casualties. Wouldn't that be marvelous? We only have one demand. That is, that you stand aside and let me escort the king out of the building. Grant me that, and I will order the crowd to disperse. I don't know if this is your first revolution, mademoiselle, but it certainly isn't mine. If your protesters want the king, they'll have to get past the line of National Guards. And I don't think your people have the skill, equipment, or raw numbers to accomplish such a feat. Well then. I believe we're up to the last charge, are we not? Correct. Charge 32. King Louis Philippe, you're accused of being an imbecile. You're mentally unfit to run this country.
No need to get personal.
It isn't a crime to be an idiot, Severin.
Thankfully, if it were, we'd all be doing hard time right now.
Illegal, no, but it does raise the question of why we are giving an idiot so much power. Let's not follow the example of Great Britain, who let the Mad King George III rule for decades past his prime. King Louis Philippe is neither mad nor stupid. He is an intelligent and competent individual. I'll have you know that I'm only competent on prune days. Your Majesty, please. You've chosen an impossible battle, JJ. The king's idiocy is widely accepted. I urge you to prove me wrong. Show me one shred of evidence that the king is not a blithering idiot. The books? I would like to present this account given by a local librarian. He asserts that the king is something of an avid reader. Picture books don't count, JJ. Oh, I had no idea that an expansive history of Macedonian Empire was a picture book. The king has been known to check out many dozen thick books in a single day, covering a whole range of wide subjects. Face the facts, Severin. The king is an educated man. Perhaps a test is in order. That won't be necessary. What was the name of that book you mentioned? An expansive history of the Macedonian Empire? Tell me, Your Majesty, where is Macedonia? Where? Yes, I'll even make it easy. Just tell me the name of the continent. What continent is Macedonia in? You can do this, Your Majesty.
It's a 1 in 7 shot. Can you really do it? I want to say Africa, but I've got it. London.
Oh, mon Dieu. I think we're done here, Your Honor. As I've demonstrated in excruciating detail, the king is incompetent, lazy, stupid, and occasionally malicious. He isn't fit to run a bakery, let alone a nation. Very well, prosecutor. Does the defense have anything to add? Yes? Yes, Your Honor. I've got nothing. I defended this man to the best of my abilities, and I have nothing more to say. Very good. Then I shall now converse with the jury. We shall determine precisely which crimes the king is guilty of, and decide on an appropriate punishment.
Punishment? Lawyer man, you have to do something. I'm scared.
Calm down, Your Majesty. The whole purpose of this trial was to see that your punishment is fair and fitting. You're not going to end up with your head on a spike. At least, I don't think you will. That mademoiselle's returning. How naive. Negotiations are over, mademoiselle. Once again, I ask that you let me pass. Let me extract the king without issue. Then we will be on our way. I warn you, the protesters are getting rowdy. At any moment now, they might charge on their own accord. Your commitment to pacifism is admirable, but you are brimming with naivety, mademoiselle. Be on your way. I warned you that your methods were too passive, madame. That foul voice. Show yourself, wolf. You're the friar who gave me the tip-off about the croque monsieur. Was my information no good, Inspector? Did I not say how and when you could reach the croque monsieur? You omitted a few details. Your words almost killed a few acquaintances of mine. Well, Inspector, it seems that you and I agree on something. This wolf has a forked tongue. There's no need to direct your hatred at me, madame. I came here to give you a gift, a peace offering. You have nothing to offer. I most certainly do. Did you know that the tunnels of the sleeping city wind straight under the Palais de Justice? It's true. If one were to put enough gunpowder in this right spot, one could even take an entire side of the building down. What are you prattling on about? How much gunpowder do you think it would take, madame? 50 kilograms? 100? Maybe 200 kilograms just to be safe. Friar? Tell me you didn't. The fuse is lit. In 20 seconds, the pillars of the Palais de Justice will fall like the Temple of Dagon. Running will do you no good, you brother-killing pute. You're bluffing. There'll be no explosion. You would like that to be the case, wouldn't you, Inspector? But unfortunately for you, the Viridian killer emerges one last time. You! So he was the Viridian killer, huh? I must congratulate you, JJ. No, Falcon. You argued excellently. I'm unsure of the penguin's fate as you are, but one thing is for certain. You could not have done your job any better. Thank you, Cocorico. After a small amount of deliberation, we have come to a decision. We find the defendant, King Louis Philippe, to be... exploded.
Mon Dieu, what was that? An explosion. It sounded like it came from right outside. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but well, in a matter of speaking, how to put this?
For pity's sake, spit it out, monsieur.
Rebels! It's the rebels! There's a big explosion at the entrance and the rebels are pouring into the building as we speak.
You heard the rabbits? Everybody clear out. Your Honor, quickly. What was the verdict?
Really? In a time like this?
There's no better time. Exile! Now get out of here! Court is adjourned. A valiant effort, Falcon, but we're both out of time and options. If the rebels want the king so badly, they can take him.
You can't say that. The rooster's got a point, Falcon. Let's just turn the king over and let him receive his dues. We've all done all we can.
No. You two give up far too easily. Sparrowson, Cocorico, we're escorting the king to R&M Associates.
Renard's place? What can he do?
If anyone has the power to make the king disappear, it would be that conniving fox.
Yeah! That might just work. Come along, Your Majesty.
Oh dear. Come on, Cocorico. No time to dawdle. I'm staying. For there to be any chance of your ridiculous plan in succeeding, someone must stay behind and delay the rebels. Cocorico, go. I've got this. Good luck. That wolf nearly killed the lot of us. You? You're the one harboring the king? It's a pleasure to see you again too, madame. Don't get snarky. Where is he? You're too late. The king has long left the building. For all I know, he could be halfway to Guadalupe by now. So he's already gone. There goes my opportunity to enact justice. Enact justice? You should have seen the trial, madame. Everything was official, professional, and logical. It was the most brilliant display of justice that I've ever seen. But the king is in the process of receiving a fitting punishment. Cocorico, did my father receive a fitting punishment when you were the prosecutor at his trial? 10 years ago? No, madame. But every day since then, I've strived towards justice, and I shall continue to do so for the rest of my days. See that you do. Do hurry up, your majesty.
This is taking forever.
You aren't going any further.
It's that friar.
I'm not gonna let you take another step towards the king. I didn't come here for the king. I came to kill you, J.J. Falcon. Very well. Sparrowson, take the king and hurry to Renard's. I'll handle this monster.
Are you sure you'll be okay?
I can handle one crippled wolf.
Okay, come on, your majesty.
That explosion at the courthouse. That wasn't just the rebels, was it? Of course not. That was to take out the murderous Pute who killed my brother. Madame Beaumont. She was the madame who pulled the trigger, but it was your words that sentenced him. And I would do it again. You and your brother are heinous individuals. Call us what you like. It doesn't matter anymore. Your blood must pay for this. An eye for an eye. That is the way of the judges of old. You don't appear armed. I don't need a gun or sword to kill you. There are 100 kilograms of gunpowder beneath our very feet. One more step, and this entire area will go. Vile scum. Inspector, just in time. You look a little singed.
Did you hear that explosion, Monsieur Phelps?
I did. Seems the rumors are true, Mousy. The revolution is in full swing. Go on.
Get in here. Visitors, Monsieur Phelps, visitors.
I wonder who... Oh my, King Louis Philippe. Good afternoon, your majesty.
Are you Monsieur Phelps?
I am. And this is my companion, Mousy.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, your majesty.
I must admit, I really have a gentleman of your caliber in this office. Please, have a seat. Mousy, fetch his majesty some tea.
Right away.
I hear you can make people disappear. Yes, a new identity, a new face. Indeed, I can make that happen. Of course, there's a price. How much? Normally, a service would cost 100 francs. But for you, your majesty, 10,000.
10,000 francs? I don't carry that much money on my person.
I'm sure you can find a way. That crown on your head and the egg in your hand would surely be enough to pay for this exquisite service. You are a crook, Monsieur Vulpes. Now, let's not call each other names. We're both grown men. Let's see, you'll need a disguise. Ah, here we go. Put this on. How do I look? Mousy, could you come in here for a moment, please?
What is it, Monsieur Vulpes? Oh, who's this cockatoo? Where'd the King Louis Philippe go?
You see, your majesty? It's that convincing? Of course. We'll have to give you a new name and identity to match your new look. We need a name that is original yet ordinary, subtle yet exquisite.
John Smith?
Brilliant, Mousy. Monsieur, your name is now John Smith. You are an upstanding English gentleman.
Je m'appelle John Smith.
That's no good. We'll have to work on your English accent. Repeat after me. My name is John Smith.
My name is Jane Smith.
Wow. Did you grow up in London, your majesty? Your accent is impeccable.
Really?
Tell him, Mousy.
I didn't understand any of it, so it must have been perfect English.
Disguise, name, accent? I think we're all set. Are you ready, Mr. Smith?
I don't think so.
Of course you're ready. Flee, monsieur, flee. Take a horse to the Calais, and from there, hire a boat to take you to the shores of England.
Do you think you'll make it to England, Monsieur Vulpes?
With that disguise, Mousy, I think our client would be lucky to make it down the street. Come on, let's return this egg to Sultan. He knew! He knew about it. That's awesome. Okay, so now we're back in the offices. I think we're very close. I'm sorry this episode's so long. I'm sorry. Just there's a lot of editing and stuff I'm gonna have to do, but I wanted to do it like this.
Come on, bird brain. Time's a-wasting. Well. Look who finally decided to get up.
Give me a break. My legs are killing me from running all over Paris. Besides, we just had the case of a century. I think we're allowed one day to relax. Let's play some Jack Noir.
Nuh-uh. Look at the stack of mail we have to reply to.
Mail?
Inspector Voreti has asked us to sign off on some paperwork regarding the death of Freya Ramus. Cocorico wants us to arrange a lunch meeting to discuss potential future collaborative projects. And Madame Beermort has asked us to help us establish a constitution for the Second Republic, if you can believe that. Plus, we have like a dozen requests for legal work from other citizens of Paris. I guess word has gotten around about our involvement in the King's trial, huh?
Mon Dieu. So much to do. But all I want to do is take a holiday.
Hey, Falcon, do you think we're about to see some changes?
Changes?
The old king's gone. The prime minister's resigned. The Second Republic is kicking off. I'm just saying. Do you think this could be the start of a new era of peace for Paris?
I think it just might be, Sparrowson. Don't get me wrong. I'm certain that this isn't the last revolt Paris will ever see. Not by a long shot. But maybe, for now, we can have a brief moment of harmony.
A moment of harmony. That sounds nice.
We did it! But enough talk about politics, Sparrowson. Let's go and pick up some breakfast.
Sounds good. I feel like pain au chocolat.
Of course you do. Okay, so we did it. We actually did it. I completed it. We have both endings that have been released so far in the game. Again, I do apologize because I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I've been recording for almost 2.5 hours, so it may be fairly long. There's a lot of stuff that I had to cut out and trim and things like that, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this video right here. I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be anything else with the end scene, and we've already seen the credits, so let's see what it says. Okay, the ending. Yes, I know. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's go. A perfect place to watch the city burn. Inspector, it's about time. Come on, step out of the shadows. I knew it. 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 You are the one responsible for the bombings of the July Revolution. You are responsible for the bombing of today. You are the Viridian killer. I am. Such a brazen confession.